Hello guys, Crispy and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the RX 580 8GB in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This one is the XFX GTS version of the card. It comes already overclocked out of the box. I pushed the power limit here to plus 15% to consistently achieve these clock speeds right here, which are the rated clock speeds out of the box, by the way. I'm playing it with a Ryzen 7 3700X and 16 gigs of RAM, and the 3700X kind of overkill for the RX 580, but you will be getting the same FPS with the Ryzen 3 3300X because this game doesn't really utilize all of the cores here and threads. So I'm gonna be playing here at 1080p resolution. We're using the low-end settings preset to start off the video, of course. I'm also gonna be testing it at the medium, high, and ultra settings. So right now I'm gonna go to Hyderabad in India. Let's go. Yet another request from a viewer, of course. Let's go just to the side of the airport right there because I can't really take off. Alright, I'm just gonna increase the throttle speed right now. We are in the air, as you can probably tell, obviously. Okay, let's go. Let's start counting our FPS over here, and it seems like it's a very smooth experience on low settings. This is a huge city, by the way. Never mind the very smooth experience. It's not a very smooth experience. We just got a massive freeze right there. That was a stutter, but okay. 2 FPS, 1% lows. Absolutely amazing, guys. This game is absolutely very, very well optimized. Oh boy. Anyways, guys, you can expect a smooth experience aside from those huge stutters. Maybe things were still loading in at that point, but yeah, aside from that, it's a smooth experience on the low settings. It doesn't reach 60 FPS plus all of the time, of course. Whenever you are close to buildings here, flying close to buildings, it will drop into the 50s and maybe even 40s sometimes, so that's something to keep in mind. If you want 60 plus FPS all of the time, first of all, you'll need a very beefy CPU, and second, you'll also need a very beefy GPU. As you can see, by the way, our VRAM utilization is at 4.3 gigabytes almost, so that means that if you have the 4 gig variant of this card, it will stutter just a little bit more. If you have the 8 gigabyte model, it will be absolutely fine, at least for now on the low settings. But that's an extremely high amount of VRAM to be utilized at the low settings here, especially when the textures look like that. But of course, there are a ton of textures and things loading into the memory, so that's why it's high right now. But anyways, we've seen our FPS here in Hyderabad, and it runs really well at the low settings with a couple of stutters, of course, whenever we are reaching or rendering in the ground. Like, at least the most intense stutters that we've seen were always when we are flying high and then we go back down to the ground. Maybe it starts loading in some new textures into the VRAM, and that's why it stutters. Yep, again, another big stutter right there. Yeah, you know what? This is kind of a sizable city, so I'm very glad that we're still getting decent FPS. We're gonna change it up to medium now, apply the settings. We're just gonna fly around this area for a little bit longer. Wait a second, I gotta show you the entire settings menu. There we go. And alright, on medium settings, the game looks absolutely stunning now, but it does run really slowly compared to low settings, especially when we approach the ground. You can see that it's kind of getting rough into the 30s, guys. It's not really a very nice experience, although it's still decent. For the size of this city, to get 30 plus FPS, it's an accomplishment, I would say, and it's definitely what you want to aim for if you're playing a simulator like this one. 29 right there, not too bad. If it's only dropping into the high 20s, I'm not too mad about that. Keep in mind that we're also piloting the plane really fast, so that doesn't really help it with the stutters as well, and we're also very close to the ground. So if you are actually playing this as a simulator, and if you are high up in the sky, it's gonna get better FPS, of course. Let's just see that right now. 40s, touching 40s sometimes. Maybe it's gonna go up into the 50s if you are really high up. As you can see right there, 45, 46, 47. Not too bad. Again, this is a huge city, so in less big cities, you're gonna get more FPS. The VRAM utilization is around 5 gigabytes, RAM utilization is around 12 gigabytes, so 16 gigs is absolutely fine, but if you have the 4GB model, it will stutter a little bit more, as we've seen with something like a GTX 1050 Ti and GTX 980, which should perform around the same as this one, but they absolutely got a ton of more stutters at the medium setting. So I'm gonna go to another city right now. There's a little river right here. Is that pollution, guys? Not sure if that's pollution. I really hope it's not, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. Alright, so in a big city, it's a very pleasant experience on medium settings. Let's go. Okay, here we go. We're on the high settings right now, 1080p resolution. As you can see, we're gonna go to Macedonia right now, which I believe is in Greece. I'm not sure, the viewer didn't specify, so I just searched Macedonia in the Google Maps and it went to Greece, so we're gonna do that. So we're on high settings, my friends, right now, because I think we've seen enough for the medium settings. You know, we don't need to go into another area to see that again. Yeah, that was pretty demanding as well. So in every other area, or most of the other areas in the world map, will run better than that. I totally forgot to count our FPS, by the way, but on high settings, flying close to the trees over here, this looks absolutely stunning, by the way. You can expect 30s. Yeah, it's kind of the same experience as medium settings in a big city, so that leads me to believe that on high with the RX 580 it will drop considerably from 30 FPS in a very big city, but we're gonna check that out in a little bit, guys. I don't think this is a very good benchmark right here, unless you really want to visit some mountains, which is actually kind of a good thing to do here. This is very chill, I think. It's very beautiful, very green. I love it. I love these landscapes, actually. Let's go to another city or another area in the world map, because this isn't really as intensive. Around here, less demanding area, 35 FPS average, 1% lows because of the stutters. It didn't really drop into the low 20s, I believe. At least I didn't see it. Oh boy. Yeah, alright then. Good stuff. Alright, next up we're gonna go to Los Angeles in the US, so that's gonna be intensive, I guess. So here we go, guys. Increase the throttle speed, of course, so we go a little bit faster, and 30s, not too bad. As we approach this city area and the buildings down there, it's probably gonna go down. Yes, 29 right there. You know what? This is not too bad, though. This is still kind of playable. Oh boy, that's a massive... Oh god, what the hell is going on? It's a stutter that doesn't end, I guess. So this is extremely demanding, as you can see. Skyscrapers everywhere, very big buildings. Okay, then, this is nice. I would like to see a little bit more greenery, so if you live in LA, go plant a tree or something. That's not a bad idea, you know? It's not a bad idea. Anyways, flying. Oh god, there's a ton of stutters right now. VRAM is almost maxed out. If it's not maxed out, maybe, I don't know. Sometimes it is maxed out, but it still shows around like 7 gigabytes of it being utilized, although it could go higher than that. And the RAM is also really rough right there at the 13 gigabyte zone. So extremely demanding city, of course. The US is full of extremely demanding areas, by the way. It's stuttering a lot when we're flying close to the buildings here. It would probably stutter less if we had 32 gigabytes of RAM, but most of you are probably not running 32 gigs of RAM, and it will also not solve all of the stuttering issues. It will still stutter quite a bit, so yeah, guys, it's just not really a very pleasant experience, as you can see, unless you want to fly around less demanding areas, of course, or if you want to go up in the sky and actually fly like this, because yeah, like this, it's always above 30 FPS and it's not really stuttering anymore. The VRAM utilization has gone down a little bit as well, so that's good. Yeah, this is what you can expect on the high settings in a very demanding city, of course. Not too bad, not the greatest. I still recommend you to play on medium with the RX 580. It's probably gonna be a much better and enjoyable experience than this. Like, what the hell? It's just... oh man, it stutters way too much when you're close to the ground. So that's it for the high settings. VRAM utilization is at 7.5, 7.6 gigabytes sometimes, 7.3 right now, but Oh boy, yeah, this is very, very rough right here. Let's do ultra settings real quick because it's not really going to be playable. We all know it. So, just going to apply that right now and let's see for a little bit if it, yeah, it's really bad, guys. So don't do this to your eyes and to your heads and to your PC because it's probably gonna crash. VRAM is completely maxed out right now. RAM is also very, very maxed out. Well, very maxed out. It's maxed out. Even if you go up in the sky, the RAM utilization is way too high, although the VRAM is not really that high anymore. And you still get 20 something FPS over here. So, don't play on ultra settings. I'm gonna stop it right there before it crashes because usually when it crashes my video file becomes corrupted, so I don't want that to happen, of course, and reshoot the entire video or record the entire video, of course. So anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I love you all. Bye bye.